Peace to the saints. Breaking news: Young Thugger, has been released from jail. We're going to go through everything from the beginning to the ending. And you know what? Shout out to Young Thug, because prison is a horrible place and it doesn't reform at all. And really, no one should be there for over 4 years for any crime. If the crime merits being in jail for over 4 years, you might as well just execute the person low key. But shout out to Thug. I don't mess with his movement. I don't mess with anything he does. I've only ever liked one track, but I'm still happy to see him out. I'm not familiar with the crimes, but I have a feeling that it was basically probably low lifes killing low lifes, and we shouldn't waste taxpayer dollars even investigating such things. So we're going to go ahead and get into the facts of the case. And in Young Thug's situation, I remember, or rather I should say, my historical experience with Young Thug. I remember the first time I heard his music, it was like, and I was like, whoa, that's amazing. Like, this DEI stuff is getting out of control. They're allowing people with like various mental syndromes to rap and like speech impediments. So that's very different. But there's one song from Young Thug that I do mess with, which is, we run out the ditches, we run out the money, we run out the ditches, we run out the money. I mess with that one. That one go. You feel me? I be playing that one in the Maybach. That one be thumping. But aside from that, I don't mess with his music at all. But when I heard the news, I was in Atlanta, and it was shared with me by some folks that were in a service capacity, good people. And they were very juiced about the news. And they said, Atlanta's about to go up. And I said, oh, was Thug like really the man in Atlanta? They're like, well, he's one of them guys. You know, he's not the man, but he's one of them. So I was like, okay. Respect. So let's go ahead and get into it.
We do want to come on the air here with breaking news. And
bro got on so much makeup.
Fact,
how you got on so much makeup? It looked like you're a filter.
Going to that break out of Atlanta, rapper Young Thug is now pleading guilty to what has become Georgia's longest running criminal trial. The plea just announced. And
so it would be intelligent, right, and informative if you say it's Georgia's longest running criminal trial to let us know how long that was. Can someone in the chat let me know? Incompetent news reporter.
Fulton County Court just minutes ago. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was indicted in 2022 on racketeering charges. Prosecutors say the rapper...
Shout out to his legal team. Shout out to the corruption in the justice system. Shout out to the fact that the RICO is a ridiculous statute anyways, both the federal and state. But you really don't ever beat these things. It's quite a miracle that he beat this. His legal team is excellent. And these are the things that money can do on the planet Earth.
Led a street gang that committed murder, armed robbery, carjackings, and also dealt drugs. Nearly 30 other co-defendants were named in this case. Young Thug.
Well, that's a lot of stuff. I guess if you have money, you just do what you want to do.
Thug's trial has been plagued by problems, including 2 judges having to recuse themselves and mounting concerns last week that a mistrial could be ordered. Let's bring in ABC News legal contributor Shauna Lloyd now, who joins me with more. Shauna, talk to me first just about the state of play in this trial and remind me, frankly, of how long this has gone on. It is the longest running.
And it's amazing that this has been going on for more than 6 months. We have been here following this trial. It is one of the longest trials. How many witnesses the state has been calling. So now that we see this plea deal, I'm not very surprised by it because...
Now, here's one thing that you want to consider, and this is just a reminder that your government is incompetent and corrupt and cares nothing about justice, the rule of law, or the efficient allocation of capital, your tax dollar, in other words. So they have this extraordinarily long case, and at the end of the case, after spending tremendous amounts of taxpayer money and citizen time, they make a mockery of the system by basically letting him off with a tap on the wrist for crimes that are consistently heinous, right? Like the crimes that have been associated with his criminal enterprise are quite heinous. Drug selling of hard drugs, murder, and all the rest of it. So they use all this money to prosecute him, can't even catch him, and then they give him probation, which means that we're going to use more government resources to monitor this guy. I mean, it's just really a ludicrous concept.
Because I think both sides were trying to mitigate damages here.
And Shauna, very quickly, I do want to play for you images that just came into us. It is Young Thug taking that plea deal in court, and then I'll have you react on the back end. But here is what just played out in court just moments ago.
As to count 60, violation of the Georgia.
Who is dressing, bro? Like, they got this ball dressed like Zelensky. You hear me? Zelensky be trying to show up in these grimy sweatshirts and stuff to make it look like he actually helping in the war, when really bro be sitting in a hot tub with his old lady begging for money from America. Brody over here dressed like Zelensky instead of just wearing a decent suit. But hey, man, it worked. It all worked. We free.
The Controlled Substances Act. How do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 61, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. How do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to count 1, conspiracy to violate.
Can someone also let me know how long was bro locked up already?
The Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. How do you plead?
Racketeer influence and corrupt organizations. Shouldn't the government be guilty of that one? Nah, something ain't right. This ain't right. This ain't right.
No law.
As to count 56, participation in criminal street gang activity under the leadership charge. How do you plead?
No law.
I think you didn't ask about count 62.
As to count, thank you.
You know, you've been charged with a lot of stuff when Shorty just like, I missed the charge on accident.
Your Honor. As to count 62, possession of a machine gun. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Bro had the chopper on deck. Yeah. Hey, you know, I've always thought about improving my arsenal, but I never get to clap anybody for the most part. So I feel like it's just a waste of money. You know, like back in the day, I used to have a lot of straps on me. When I lived in Baltimore, I had a lot of straps, real Rambo type stuff, but I never got to clap anybody. So I felt like it was just a waste as a minimalist. You feel me? So I kind of reduced my arsenal.
Are you pleading guilty to the offenses you have indicated because you are in fact guilty of these charges?
Yes.
Why are you playing games, Shorty? Lord knows he's taking a plea, so he's basically trying to get his best option. He's making a rational decision. It has nothing to do with guilt or innocence. It has everything to do with getting out of jail. And jail sucks. Prison sucks. You're under huge levels of duress. All of this is a dog and pony show. It's a farce. The only way you'll ever be protected is when you have a strong organization behind you, which he clearly does. You have some money behind you. You have people who are willing to commit violence, or people who can gather in mass on a consistent basis and they won't let you go. That's all you can hope for.
And Shauna, something that I heard there, tell me if I'm wrong here, is to some charges he's pleading guilty, to some charges he's pleading nolo contendere, which means no contest. But also very quickly, it looks like we've gotten here because there was an issue at trial last week where there was this witness who divulged sensitive information on the stand, and there were these concerns that there could be a mistrial, and essentially you'd have to start the clock all over again, and you'd have to have this long trial all over again. How did we get here to this point where...
That's the funny thing, is that we pretend as though so many things are official when so many things are extraordinarily unofficial and inauthentic in our society. And the more you evolve and become experienced and sophisticated, you can see through these things and you realize that a lot of it is fake. For example, TSA. When you fly commercial, they search you like an animal. When you fly private, they don't search you at all. So I thought security was important, right? It's not if you're flying private and you got money. You think your personal credit is important. Well, not if you have a bunch of money. You don't need credit, or you can leverage the cash you have to get 5 times, 10 times leverage on your money, which is to say loans. So a lot of these things you think are important, it's really just a game. And the game is mostly designed to befuddle the minds of the poor and those who are not in the in group. And so you'd be wise to be a part of something.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys obviously wanted to deal.
I mean, what we're really seeing is that that misstep could potentially have created a mistrial, and the judge looked like she may have been leaning towards granting that. So that leaves exposure on both.
She got a female judge. We'll have increasingly more of them. There's already too many of them. In my last two civil cases, there were female judges, and both of them were extraordinarily rude, unpleasant, and unreasonable, which is not surprising. So generally, any personality that goes into politics and government, you got to be suspicious of them, right? And especially the female personality that's going in there seeking power, you should be even more suspicious. But this is how you end up with situations like alimony, child support, and it being unfairly awarded. Even the existence of such structures are themselves ridiculous. But that's what happens when you have males not attending university. You have males allowing women to vote. You have beta males acting as the soldiers for female leaders. And we end up in this situation. We are in revolutionary times, and we cannot cooperate and collaborate with this sick system.
Both sides. That means the state has to determine to bring this trial again, and he would have to stand again for another trial. So what you see here in this plea deal is both sides gave a little bit. He pleaded no contest to some of the charges, the direct charges that were linked to him.
She's basically saying the criminal and the criminal justice system collaborated, but really it's more correctly stated as the wealthy man and the system, the government designed to serve the wealthy collaborated, which allows, people to commit crimes and do as they please when they have money. You can see Nancy Pelosi and the Clintons as an example. That's why famously termed America a plutocracy, which is to say a government run by the wealthy. And that is clearly the case here. And one thing you guys should remember and think, why am I paying taxes to this government? Because the government is filled with criminals. If you collaborate with a criminal, they call you a co-conspirator. They make you a co-defendant. They say that you're aiding and abetting if you collaborate with a criminal. However, is it not collaborating with a criminal when the government has all these informants, all these rats and snitches on FBI, CIA payroll, all of these dishonest persons, these traitors, these actual killers, murderers, criminals, drug dealers on payroll? Is that not collaborating with a criminal? When the United States government allows Sammy the Bull Gravano, an Italian mobster, a known serial killer, when they allow him to walk free after all those murders, is that not collaborating with the criminal? When you put a wire on a known criminal, and you pay him for a decade on end, is that not collaborating with a criminal? Come on, man. The government is guilty of the things that they accuse the criminals of being guilty of. The government itself is criminal and negligent.
Here in this particular plea deal in order to get those those admissions of guilt. So both sides had to give a little bit, but in the face of a mistrial, and they each got a little bit.
This point.
So those were some of the initial factors. There were a lot of
longest criminal trial ever is over.
Oh, shut up, you wigger. That big old wig. Goodness, Lord, you don't invest your money in your wig. Invest your money in inflating that chest and decreasing them shoulders. Lord Jesus, she looked like she should be a wide receiver for the Dolphins with those shoulders. My God, is she wearing shoulder pads? This is terrible. Is that even a woman? Is that even a woman?
And rapper Young Thug is out of jail this morning. He was on trial for...
Look at that big old hat she's wearing. You know women are mentally ill, and we got to stop letting them get out of control. We need to really go Taliban and just start snatching these wigs off their heads. And I don't care if it's sewn in. You snatch that sucker off until you leave that broad with patches.
Gang, drug, and gun charges. And Reed Binion has a look at what the rapper had to say in court.
Now, this one on the right side, I'll go ahead and give her the ground and pound. And I ain't talking MMA. You dig? The one on the left side, man, she gonna have to hold the camera because she is absolute dirt with that big old strong jaw. She must be from Atlanta. If you know what I mean. Boy, man, I'd be shocked in Atlanta. It is like 1 out of 3 of these people are choking on Skittles.
And the conditions of his release.
Matter of fact, Shorty on the right side is married. I could see the wedding ring. I was about to have to slide. I was about to have to find her IG. Matter of fact, I still might. It's a cold world out here. You heard me? If you ain't one of us, hell, you ain't one of us. Assassin or nothing. I still might slide. Let me go back see what Shorty name is. Why they ain't showing her name? They already know I'm trying to slide.
Say in court and the conditions of his release.
I take
Matter of fact, somebody DM me her IG, the one on the right side.
full responsibility for, my crimes or my charges.
Rapper Young Thug speaking at the conclusion of his link.
Man, this ball right here looked like something you done drugged straight up out of a sewer, man. We in different times. You know, back in Los Angeles, the brothers out there, we like to get fresh and crispy, man. I see the balls in Atlanta. No disrespect to the Atlanta assassin. Y'all are a different breed. The balls in Atlanta be looking like cartoon characters, man. They don't even really look like real black people. They look like foreign black people trying to look like black people in America, man. They be looking ridiculous. I ain't never seen so much fake jewelry in my whole damn life. I ain't seen so much sweetness, that sweet chocolate. I ain't seen so much in my life, man. I just, woo-wee, it's Sodom and Gomorrah. But you know what? Where there is much darkness, there is much light to be shed. I feel like I need to help the people.
Lengthy racketeering trial.
Bro looked like he wearing a sweatshirt that he found in an alley in Mumbai. Where do you get a sweatshirt like that? And why is it mostly matches skin color? The ball looked naked. And why his skin looks so rough? I keep telling you, dark-skinned people, not to get tattoos. You can barely see them. Looks like filth on your skin. And bros, them dreads, man, I bet my life that them dreads stank. I bet my life that it looked like he took each individual dread, held it out, and asked Fat Joe to step over it butt naked. And then he waxed Fat Joe's butt crack like it was in between somebody's teeth, like it was dental floss for the butt crack. Yeah, man, I promise you them dreads stank. You hear me? They stank.
Which marks the longest running criminal case in Georgia history.
I want to say sorry to my family, my mom, really everybody that got something to do with this situation. I want to say sorry.
The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, sentenced to time served plus 15 years probation for charges including firearm possession.
All right, now look. Anyways, 15 years probation. That's 15 years of anything is too much. It's too much. 15 years of anything is too much. If you're like Marquett, we're gonna give you filet mignon every day for 15 years. I'm like, look, bruh, that's too much. 15 years of probation is ludicrous. Is he gonna mess it up? Who knows? But really, who cares, right? He's just some random rapper that, yeah, you present to me now. This is the money. Yeah. Who cares? But I think that is just the court system trying to make it sound like they did something when really they did nothing except inconvenience him, keep him in jail for a long time. And if you're in a system that's innocent until proven guilty, which is a lie, do they compensate him for taking however many years of his life while he's fighting in the court system? Do they reimburse him like, oh, we found out you're innocent, you get your money back for your legal fees? In this case, he wasn't innocent, but you get the point. I've been in a situation, they try to slap fake cases on me. They ain't reimburse me for my time and for my legal fees. It's ludicrous. The whole thing is.
And participation in street gang activity. He was released Thursday after more than 900 days in custody. In 2022, Williams was charged along with
it's a little under 3 years. That's ridiculous.
Dozens of others under Georgia's Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, better known as RICO. Prosecutors said Williams led an Atlanta-based gang called YSL,
the sweetest gang on earth.
that committed violent crimes, including murder, which Williams has denied.
It's murder.
His plea agreement saved him from what could have been a maximum 120-year prison sentence.
That's a long time.
If convicted on all charges. The judge stressed that his continued freedom relies on adherence to strict probation guidelines.
Backloaded 20 years, which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your probation.
The judge also ordered Williams to stay.
Look at this. You see why we're losing right now? You have all these women in positions of power that they should not be in. You got the most evil character on earth, which is the liberal white woman, hoping that they don't survive much longer. And then you got the two black hair-hatted hooligans, which are basically imitation liberal white women. Yeah, they're black. They're in blackface, and they got the white woman wig on their head. So this is what we're dealing with, this kind of ludicrous minstrel show.
Out of the metro Atlanta area for the first.
Atlanta. Now, here's his father, and I don't know what his relationship is with his father, but we'll go ahead and take a listen at what his pop has to say. Now, me personally, if I just finish beating a case that I've been fighting for a little under 3 years, I don't want anybody saying anything. Everybody shut up. You go home, stay off social media, wait till I get out, and wait till like the police ain't looking at me. The government is forgotten about me. No one say anything. We got the deal. We got the W. Like, just chill, sit down. But here we are doing press conferences. Here we are.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all can ask me a question.
Confirm you can hear the video because it's kind of low for me.
Your son was going to take a plea.
Well, I was kind of startled behind it because
this ball country as hell. That's what country folks say. Behind it. I was kind of startled behind it. The funny thing is my mom be sounding country as hell, but she was born and raised in San Diego. It don't make no damn sense. I was talking to her about it recently. I was like, why do you have that accent? Like, where did that come from? She was like, I don't know, because I got 8 brothers and sisters and none of them got the accent. I was like, yeah, well, what is this? Like neurological issue or something that's going on?
I was in agreement with Brian and Keith.
Brian and
let's
Keith.
keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? Let's
That's what you say when you ain't in jail. You hear me? You outside of jail. You eating Popeye's chicken every day. You laying up with your old lady, going on walks outdoors. You talking about let's keep fighting it, boy. Maybe you ain't done no significant time. Let's keep fighting it, bro. He been fighting it for 3 years. It's enough.
to make them continue to embarrass themselves. But at the same.
See, now you're talking reckless about the government, man. Listen, bro. Let your mans get out of jail. Stop with the stupidity.
Token, my son is I've never tried to interfere with his decisions. I just try to give him the knowledge of making the best decision that he sees fit for him. And I support it.
And so what was it like? That he's going home?
I feel great that he's going home. But at the same token, I still wanted to fight. But that's his decision.
Bro, shut up. I'm not even about to listen to the rest of what bro got to say, because you know what? It's too often we give low IQ people microphones. We just need to ignore low IQ people. We need to ignore women who try to speak in public. And again, shout out to the Taliban. I think it's illegal now for women to raise their voice in public. That's a beautiful thing. You hear me? You don't even need a law for them to not raise their voice at home, because we already know the Taliban getting it in. You dig? Yeah.
They had the right street.
One more quick question. Any words that you want to wish to anybody else remaining on the case? Anything you want to say to them?
Yeah, I definitely want to say something to the people that's left on this case, along with the people who.
Yeah, okay, Brody. Now, that's an interesting thing. People left on the case. If he's the leader and he's already finished up his case, you would think that the underlings would basically go free. If you couldn't take down the leader, the underlings certainly shouldn't get more time than the leader. That would only reveal the true corrupt nature of the United States government, and that they're going to punish the people who are in lack of capital, which reveals that there is no such thing as equality at all. You hear me? There's no such thing. It's lunacy. Shout out to Carter writes by Venmo. Peace to the Saints. Why you say YSL the sweetest gang on earth? Come on, bro. Bro, them Atlanta balls. Man, I ain't never listened to me, man. I remember the third time I came to Atlanta, the first time I came for a fade, I was in a boxing match. Boom, 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 bing, bing. Packed my bags and left after I put Brody down, his corner threw in the towel. But the third time I came to Atlanta, now I've been a ton of times to the airport, but I didn't move around. The third time I came and moved around, I was, shopping for some real estate at the time. And I was actually with Zudort. And it was wild because like every time we go in somewhere, you'll see what you thought was a normal black guy. And he's like, how you doing? Whoa, Brody, can I help you with? I was like, no, you can't help me with nothing. Can you send like a waitress? Like, why is all the waiters dudes? Like, there's no waitresses? Like, come on, bro. Like, listen, man, like it's like 1 out of 3 in the city. I'm like, how do they even achieve that? Like, listen, man, I lived in San Francisco. They ain't even got that much sugar in San Francisco. They ain't got that much sugar. It's like all of the sugar on the planet Earth has been poured into Atlanta. And these balls standing there on their knees with their mouth wide open. The sugar just like, the sugar's just overflowing and drip. It's crazy, man. Whew. But one thing I will say, I've been around the world, and The water in Atlanta tastes the worst I've ever tasted. And you can tell there's pharmaceuticals in the water. And this is not a conspiracy theory. If you just Google, there's pharmaceuticals in all of the public in the municipal water sources in America, and lesser extent other places because they have regulations. You can't just, for a time, different entities and commercial entities would just flush pills and things like that down the toilet. True story. But point is this: the water here tastes the worst of anywhere I've ever been. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's something spooky going on in the water, because it just doesn't make sense to have this many weirdos.
I shoot at your mammy, need to stand down. I up my stamina, take it to trial, get an appeal, take it to trial, pay for that casket. That's just if we whack them. YSL slimy and shady. Watch me whack that, pop them like assist. Block with the assist. It also consisted of a song.
When you have some old, dry Black woman reading your lyrics with disdain, they sound so bad. Now, granted, he ain't got bars like that no damn way. You hear me? His bars like, yeah, when you have some hateful, postmenopausal, black hair-hatted hooligan reading your lyrics, is gonna sound worse, especially when they're reading them in court and the lyrics are about crimes and beating cases, and you're there for a crime trying to beat a case. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
Wherein Mr. Williams sang or rapped the lyrics, hey, this is that slime, that YSL, killing 12, jail. I'm in the VIP. I got the pistol on my hip. The police. You praying that you live. I'm praying that.
I swear I would have interrupted her, like, hey, why you ain't read my other like, I got some other why you nitpicking it?
I hit this at slime. 100 rounds in a Tahoe. I'm prepared to take them down. Got banana clips for all these
I wish the would have started ad-libbing the while she read this. I wish she'd have started ad-libbing like, yeah. I wish he'd just start ad-libbing and bobbing his head and like that was straight gas.
Acting monkey. This is that slime. This is that mob.
I wish in the audience would have started beatboxing while she was reading it. I wish somebody would have started like, would have just gave her the beat. I wish she'd have started reading this like she really knew the lyrics though. Why is she reading it all slow out of tune?
The judge, YSL, this that mob life.
Oh God. It's great too because she keep having to change pages. Like, bro, what font was that written in? Was that written in like 32 font? You only got like 3 bars per page.
Defendant Williams released a video on YouTube of a song wherein he states, I shot at his mommy. Now he no longer mentions me.
That'll do the trick.
Act like you want war and they gonna smoke you like a blunt.
Blah! Booker. Rah, rah, rah.
Another song, I escaped every one of the licks because I was supposed to be rich. I don't care nothing about a cop. I'm just telling you how it is.
Fuck 12.
I done did the robbing. I done did the jacking.
Yeah.
Now I'm full rapping.
Yeah.
Gave the lawyer close to $2 million. He handles all the killing.
Kill.
We don't speak about on wax. It's all my business.
My business.
We know to kill the biggest cats of all kittens.
Why she act like she don't know how to rap? Like she don't know how to rhyme? I mean, that's like, girl, you ain't got to be a rapper, but you know how to rhyme the bars. Quit playing with us. And why is she taking so damn long? Like she wasn't prepared. Black neck, bro. The back of her black neck. Carter writes, take it to trial and slime are the songs she's reading. They were banging back in the day. Definitely weren't good for escape, bruh. Absolutely not. I wish they'd have played the real ones just to see how the judge react. What if the judge was a back in the day? I wouldn't be surprised if the judge got her little black lover in Atlanta.
In another song, I was on Cleveland, stuck like a magnet. N-word. Pay for that casket. That's just if we whack them. In yet another song, defendant Williams raps, red just like Elmo, but I never giggle. YSL won't fold. Pick his ass off from the balcony, wipe an end's nose. I'm going to.
Wait, did she say N? So you going to say SHIT, BITCH, all that, but you can't say the N word? Come on, big head ass in this Riddler suit.
F for the cash, then she getting robbed by Tick, a reference to Trontavia Stevens. All I ever wanted was the money. Put your hands in the air if you dare. F and N, put him in a wheelchair.
These kind of people I hate. It's like, why are you going out of your way to have no sauce? Oh my goodness. You could tell her vagina is just so dry. Like just so dry. Me personally, I would never use lube. Like I feel like, shorty, if you need to use lube, like your health ain't right, shorty. I can't be messing with your old ass, your unhealthy ass. For all of y'all watching this, if y'all use lube, something wrong with y'all. Okay, this is a bro. You need to just quit having intercourse. Start a farm. Start farming dates, beets, and carrots. You need to start a farm. If your coochie don't get wet, start a farm. If your meat can't get... I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro.
And even later on, Mr. Williams, and I believe that this was in 2019, made a post to YFN Lucci or Rayshawn Bennett.
And shout out to these dumb blacks who name themselves after Italian criminals. Your name is Tyvavius Jones. Your name is you're be like Tyshawn Williams, and then your rap name is YFN Lucci.
If I ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you.
Ah, what kind of backhanded complimentary threat? Oh,
and
goodness.
in yet another song entitled Anybody, defendant Williams stated, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. I got the streets on my back.
That was kind of a bar, though. Listen. That was kind of a bar, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I might have been in the courtroom, like literally in the back, like bars. I'd have been in there with a soundboard hitting, dropping a flex bomb. She dropped that bomb, dropping flex bombs in the background with a Bluetooth speaker in that. Bro, that's a bar. Quit acting like that ain't a bar. What's wrong with you?
Any song entitled
This ain't delivering the punchlines right. What's wrong with her?
Anybody, defendant Williams stated, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving a body.
Woo! He must have had a ghostwriter on this one, baby. He must have had a ghostwriter. He said, I ain't never caught a body, but I got something to do with that body. Keep the streets on my back like I'm carrying a body. Why is the live? Slide live. Man, he trying to get barred up right there. He had to have had a ghostwriter because he ain't never said a bar in his life. She taking too long with the bars. Hurry up. Shout out to Mr. Mugisha, came in with another baller alert. He writes, I'm loving the comedy pieces. Shout out to the ballerism, man. Ballers is, it's only one baller out here, but the man.
As Mr. Williams' prominence in the music industry rose.
Why she keep talking loud as hell into the mic periodically? I could tell she got crusty lips. I hate to see people in general with crusty lips. Shout out to white women, always have crusty lips. It's extraordinary. Black girls are greased. You heard me? I guess the white girls just figure they don't have that much lip area. They don't really need to. Nah, you still need to moisturize that. But black girls, they had a greased and waxed. You hear me? Matter of fact, there was one time my knuckles was ashy. I just rub it on the lips. You rub my on her lips, man. It was sparkling. Anyways, shout out to Mr. Carter. Writes, nah, quit you cutting up today, man, bruh. They didn't brought it out of me. They didn't brought it out. Now, I also acknowledge Carter. Writes, nah, man, low-key thug got bars, bro. That Might be extra low key because I ain't heard it yet. That was the first time I heard the say some bars.
His ascension within or in leadership in the gang YSL became more apparent as he rapped and talked about the crimes that YSL co-conspirators and members committed. And how,
man, this case had to be boring. I couldn't imagine 3 years of her reading slow as hell. Appreciate those of you who have supported the work, the handful of folks, and of course, shout out to the members at thesassin.com. That's THESASN.com. And may I remind for those of you who are real members, I do want to do a session for the Sassin security training. And I want to talk about the bump. The bump is a methodology that was used by some folks who were tracking some Islamic terrorists. I do want to put you guys onto that methodology. It'll be a short session, but it's critical. May I acknowledge via PayPal. Patrick writes, PCU Commander, after reviewing the lessons from the Master Communicator course for 2 weeks now, there's been a drastic difference in the amount of women I'm getting, the amount of sales I'm closing, and the quality of my relationships. If you're interested in being able to influence people, you should definitely get the Master Communicator course. It's a great work. I appreciate you, Pastor. I'm really happy to hear that you're benefiting from it. And I think the fact that you've been reviewing it for 2 weeks, it always helps. Anytime there's something good knowledge is worth repeating and practicing. So it's very wise of you. Happy to hear that you're thriving and I can see it. You're always supporting the work. So, it's evident. Ladies and saints, it's been a pleasure to have this time to fellowship with you all. Until next time, peace of the saints.